Okay, I think we're ready to go. Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be right after the pledge. Okay, first item on the agenda, approval of the minutes from our last meeting, May 20th, 2026. The board members have all had a chance to review. I'd like to look for an approval, if we can get that, or if anybody had any changes or found anything that they'd like to discuss.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve, motion made, second.
I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Show that the meeting minutes from the 20th of May have been approved. Next item on the agenda is continuing the site plan application of Andy and Ashley Oberg for HFL Pickleball.
Good evening.
Good evening, thank you for coming in.
How you doing?
I think everything looks great. I think we've made really good progress in a month, so I look forward to the discussion here. We came away from, I'm not gonna, restart everything that we went through last time. We're gonna pick up from the list that we took a good list for, what we have left to do. The applicants provided us with some documentation, and so we'll get started, go right down through the list. The first item, the archaeological survey of the property. Just to give a brief summary, there was a lot of communication back and forth about this. There was communication dating back to a previous site plan. Essentially, what the issue boiled down to was there were many, many folks who referenced, there has been a survey done, that's great, we have it now. This was the magic bullet, all we need to do is have it. We can't make decisions on, there was a survey, well, what does the survey say? Now that we have it, we're able to go through and make some intelligent decisions that protect both you and the town and the board for the decisions that it has to make. So just to summarize going through this, because there are a few things that the board should probably consider in, how we go about making sure that any concerns that were raised, if there are any, are properly addressed. Essentially, I hope everybody's had a chance to read this. Again, I'll summarize. If I summarize anything and any of the board members disagree, speak up. Oh, and I did not say this, but this is, in saying this is a continuation of the meeting, this is still a public hearing. We left it open from last meeting. Just to sort of summarize so that the applicants can hear it and we can have this as framework for discussion. There were very minor artifacts found not directly in what is now the parcel the pickleball courts are being built in, closer to Gale Road. Basically no cultural material of any significance was noted in that. No sites within the project limits. When we say project limits, this is from the old Big M supermarket. So not specifically their parcel, but adjacent, and that parcel being a part of this. No sites within the project limits were found eligible for listed for National Register or historic places, so nothing was ever triggered in any of that.
Can I ask a question? Was the Big M out there at one point?
There was a proposal.
I was gonna say, the Big M was a long ways away from there.
Yeah, well, that's part of the challenge here, and why we have to really cover our bases and be smart and think forward and and fill in gaps. Is this was done in 1989?
Okay.
So different type project. So when they do one of these reports, the scope of the project. Now, I think fortunately for all of us, including the applicants, the scope of this project is actually less as far as a footprint of a building and depth of dig and the type of building that's being put in. So if it were more, then you might be in a place where you might have to say, more due diligence might have to happen. So all identified artifacts were classified as stray finds or non-significant. Shovel tests were negative for cultural material. Investigators recommended no additional investigation, again, for the scope of this project on that parcel, which is a standard conclusion when findings don't meet eligibility criteria. The report satisfies the documentary field and reporting requirements of the stage 1 investigation as contemplated under SECRA. So that checkbox that we basically stalled at last month where we said, okay, we need to figure out about this. This report satisfies that requirement. Factors that do warrant a planning board's attention, and after reading through this and going through various agency recommendations, only 1% of the project area received subsurface shovel testing with just 4 tests excavated. So what that means is it was a relatively low level. It wasn't comprehensive. It was comprehensive in an area, but not much for depth. In particular, the western portion of the project area, basically the portion of that parcel that is still unplowed, not disked and not tilled, it's still, just wild grasses and brush. None of that area was tested at all. So no surface visibility at all to that. So conditions, again, these are just possibilities that I read through regarding, best practices, state guidelines, conditions a planning board might impose, so things to consider. There are all levels of, a planning board could do things like asking for a New York State concurrence letter, contacting tribal authorities, all kinds of changing, requiring a new survey because of the date. Everything that I read in this report, and given the significance of the site northwest, the parcel basically directly west of where Bristol ID is, that is a significant artifacts, burial grounds, but it's not this parcel. It's adjacent with some distance. Considering and keeping in mind Bristol ID was developed with a significant building, nothing of any impact was found there, no halt works because of any further, and they disturbed a significant amount of soil in that, and they're closer than this development. I just keep reading through the list. I forgot where I was going with that, but basically making the case, I think it's limited as far as what I feel like. I think there are a couple smart conditions we could put in that I think protect everybody. Protect, cultural resources, protect the applicant, protect the board. The first being with the proximity and the direction of where there are known cultural resources to limit that. I don't believe anything in the plan itself, I don't believe you are even remotely getting within 150, 200 feet of the western border of this parcel.
Much further than that.
Most of your proposed development is far east, right? You're staying
Yeah.
close to 15A. So one of the things I'll put on the table right now for discussion, before I open it up to everybody, is I'm suggesting a buffer on the western property line that says basically no further development, no soil disturbing, no further development within, I'm comfortable with 150 feet. 150 feet. So it would be good if you could just look at that. I did look at it, and I don't see anything that you had on your plans coming close to the 150 feet from the
None of their
western.
property touches it, right?
What?
None of their property touches it.
None of their property touches the parcel.
Right, so their parcel, if it's split in half, you're 500 feet from here to here.
Right.
So
And I'm talking
you're way
only,
back there? Okay.
I'm talking only about like that.
Gotcha.
Essentially, so visually, if you think about, you know where the tilled area, where the tilled land, way on the western side, you know where that tilled land stops, and then it's just grass, and there's actually marshy wetland back there too. So you really probably aren't going to build down there anyway, right? Because you could open up a different can of worms there.
Yep.
They could in the future if they want to, so we could come back in.
Absolutely, so all I'm suggesting is, for this site plan review, to approve what you have here, if we put a condition in that said, if you wanna do anything within a 150-yard buffer of that western parcel line, you just have to come back in and ask for approval.
Sure.
But as a part of approving this, just don't disturb the land within 150 feet of that western property line, just a straight line,
No problem.
okay? And I think what that does, it does a couple things. It keeps us completely that actually was a recommendation, a buffer was a recommendation in this report for the Big M,
Okay.
to say you should consider a buffer, so I'm lifting that right out of here. So a lot of time and effort and other eyes were on this and seemed to, think that was a good idea. I think that's a pretty low impact way of steering clear of any potential problems. I did mention, I'm not particularly keen, I want to put this out here for discussion, I'm not keen unless I'm talked into it on, a condition we could put in is updated if there was going to be further development. That's a possibility. And another, I think, realistic condition to consider is just an agreement that that there be documentation and curation of any recovered materials. So let's say if something does come up, then what we would ask for is any artifacts recovered during construction must be cataloged and curated in accordance with New York State guidelines, with records submitted to the planning board in New York State upon project completion. If you find something and you can tell that it's, either native artifacts, whatever, we want that cataloged and returned. The property owners, there's actually a conservancy that owns the parcel to the northwest or directly west of Bristol ID. They have filled museums with their artifacts out of that area, and so, I would want to make sure that anything that's found is handed over to people who can respect.
Can we give them a contact person if they do find something?
I'm not gonna go find,
Okay.
no, we can just say, what, New York State, who would that be,
GIS. What do you want to do?
New York State OPRHP?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's New York State, what's OPRHP?
Office of
Office.
Preservation and, yeah.
Historic Preservation Officer.
If and when we come to that point, somebody can point you the right way. I'm not gonna do it tonight.
Look up SHPO.
SHPO.
Yeah, and I have contact with an archaeologist in Rochester that my company is gonna hire to install a gas main over there in Mountain Hill.
Who's
I
that?
think his last name is Powers.
Okay.
I could get you the
Okay.
information, if you ever need it.
Yeah, sure. I actually spoke with the archaeologist who was on site for this plan.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I got the document, so
Oh,
I figured I
okay.
could call him too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As
but
long as
that's
you
good
got
to know a
something.
couple different
Yeah.
contacts.
And thank you for getting that. That's all we were hung up on was,
Yeah.
for a
Took
long
some
time,
digging.
everyone kept talking
Took a
about,
while.
it was
But we got
done.
it,
Well,
yeah.
that's great, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to read it. I think that's it of significance. I just had a lot of background that I had to read through just to make sure that we were approaching this with the right seriousness and scale. One of the notes I ran into, any planning board in this report, any planning board reviewing the project should treat the proximity to the powerhouse preserve as a high priority condition. That's all that's significant, is that it is a high priority. So I think we could do that with a couple conditions. Any thoughts from the board on that item in particular? So we'll wrap all of our conditions up at the end, when we're making our decision. But, unless anybody else has any other ideas, then we can just capture those later. All right. Stormwater plan, we've got not just the stormwater, but the topo.
Yeah.
Topo was completed, and again, excellent on the plans, they look fantastic. The plan itself, less than an acre is being disturbed.
You don't need a SWIP, right?
Don't need a SWIP, less than an acre disturbed, so that was, again, that was correspondence came across. We don't need a SWIP, but we do have the topo. I'm gonna let you take a look at that and make any determinations you'd like to make.
I just have a couple questions on it. Would love to see the calculations. I realize that we don't need a SWIP, but all of the area that's now impervious is going to go to that same swale, which then goes over to the neighbor. I'm just curious what that quantity of water is going to be. The engineer should figure that out, just to make sure we're not gonna suddenly cause trouble for your neighbor. So, if it was all going to the back, that's, different, but you got a swale right up in front there. So we just want them to confirm, we want the engineer to confirm it's not gonna cause harm to the neighbor. Basically, we can't do that by looking at this drawing. So. And additionally, the wastewater treatment system says that it is a mound system.
Most likely our engineer's still working on the system.
Still working on, okay.
Yeah.
Cause I was gonna say that we'll need to see, I don't know what we need to see. The grading is important, right? If it's a mound, it's suddenly a obstruction, so are you holding water behind it, that kind of stuff, how they getting that all taken care of so it doesn't?
Yeah, no, Tony and
We're
Randy
just not
are
sure yet?
working- Tony, Randy, and Glenn are all kind of working together.
Okay.
Or our engineer. Tony's
Too bad
doing
it has to go in
excavating
front.
and- I'm sorry?
It's too bad it has to go in your front yard.
I know.
So yeah, as far as grading though, those are the two biggest things, is that because this whole thing is impervious now, this is all gonna go here and that to the neighbor. So what is that quantity, and are they sure that that's not gonna be an issue?
What?
Because there used to be a pond here, that's why. I didn't worry about it in the last design, because you had a pond up front, but.
Well, the drainage sketch almost looks like in the front of the building, it's gonna be draining to the north,
Right.
Not to the south in front of, the homeschool.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about to the north,
Oh, okay.
the northern
So
neighborhood,
towards-
yeah. It'll stay in that same drainage basin basically, but now what you've done is
Bristol idea.
what's all pervious and the water soaks in now is
Yeah.
gonna be sheet draining off the building and off the parking lot. Normally you have to capture water, even if you don't have to have a SWIP, normally you still have to, you can't let more water leave your site than
Yeah.
what's leaving today, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So-
we're gonna increase the.
And since there's not a pond shown anywhere in here, it just raises the flag, so.
What do we need explicitly from?
I think we need confirmation from the engineer, design engineer, that there won't be more stormwater entering a neighbor's property than there's currently. There's a lot of ways to do that, so you don't have to have a pond, you can do all kinds of different things, but they just need to make sure. Cause you got that other, I wish we had people pull that on there. You got the neighbor's building, the event card or personal ID, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, it's gonna be coming, this is a part that we've seen flood before. Right in here, flooded before. That's exactly where it's still going,
Yeah.
so, but they're adding the amount of water going to it, so that's all. Just
Okay.
being a good neighbor and.
Right, but that's something we could do, we could have that confirmation.
They can send it to
condition-
Charlie, we don't technically
Exactly,
have to see
the
it.
condition could be
Yeah.
produce that, guaranteeing that, and then send it in, and then,
Yep,
yeah.
if
Okay.
Charlie sees the numbers.
When they put the personal ID addition on, didn't we have them do drainage around to that back?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
So it looks like that, it's going directly into where that drainage line was
yeah,
put in.
and that might be true. The big thing is you just can't have, I can't add my water to your yard,
Right.
you know what I mean?
My yard could use it then.
Otherwise not, I don't have any comments on drainage. Other than that.
Was the, so that was the confirmation, that stormwater discharge will increase onto the neighbor's lot. What was the first part that you said? Is there a second condition suggested? that?
Oh, no, I was talking about what's the grading, that they take that into account, but she said
Okay.
they haven't designed it yet, so
Okay,
it's really a moot point until it's
Okay.
designed.
alright.
I'm assuming that they're gonna not have water pooling up behind their own wastewater system, that'd be a problem, so.
Why did it have to go move to the front? Soil?
The elevations.
Elevations,
Once the
yeah.
topo came in, they
Okay.
said, don't put the pond there, put that there, and
Yep.
that's what
Okay.
they determined.
Alright, okay, topo completed, stormwater. So the, landscape plan to scale. I'm on to number 4 of the items that we had left. There we go.
That's on the front, it's like the, yeah. Let me see if anybody else has comments.
Yeah, we just go ahead and talk.
Yeah.
Okay. The original design showed us, though we had some concerns about all the trees being the same look, but being different kinds.
Yeah, I mean,
Was-
yeah.
Was real, I have to tell you, it was nice to see the amount you were gonna have, and this is significantly less than what that showed. Additionally, I'm not sure who, the plants are native, but I'm not sure whoever picked them. A couple of things that we would talk about. One, your boxwoods, just be aware that those smell like cat urine when they're wet and it's hot out. So if that's near your doors and windows, you're not gonna probably like it. The bigger thing I think though is that all of the symbols for the shrubs are shown. One, they're not anywhere near your entrance, so it really doesn't dress up your entrance at all. That's your, it's your job to make it aesthetic or not, however you want. But those are two different size plants, so boxwoods are gonna get like, 2 to 4 feet high and like 3 to 5 feet wide. Where the bayberries are gonna get twice as big. You're talking, so you have them right next to each other. I just think you need to rethink how that's gonna actually look. It's probably not gonna, it's not gonna look like a nice clean corner. It's gonna be like kind of thing going on. So I would recommend you add some plantings back in, especially the trees we talked about on that. Unless you've changed the face of it. We don't know what the face of the building looks like, right? Because we were talking about that big broad face, if you could break it up with some nice trees. These cercis are a lot smaller tree. I think you had maples and things before. I think we would probably prefer that you did things like maples and things that can break it up a little bit more, but those are my main comments. That check out those shrubs, think about what you want your your curb appeal to be, because your entrance right now doesn't have anything there. Entrance to your building is what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then breaking up that face with some much larger species, so. I would probably, honestly, I'd probably say don't even worry about the shrubs in the front corner of the building on the north side, because with just 4 there, they're gonna look like an afterthought. You might be better off taking some of those and moving them around to the other portion, then just put a bunch of larger shade trees and things in to break it up.
Sure.
So, I can't tell you how many to put in, that's not our job.
Yeah.
Just an increase. Does anybody agree? Is any other comments?
I wondered about the trees along the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where are the trees that look something else from
There's only 2 now. They did have redwoods in the last go
Yeah.
round, but then there were maples scattered around as well. I think that'll especially help on the north face and the, whatever that's gonna be. If you look at your neighbors, I think you'll see they have significantly more trees, so.
Once we see the building up too, and kind of get a.
Yeah,
feel of it too.
you might wanna start adding, once you see it.
Yeah, once we kind of get a feel.
We don't
for
really have that, so.
Where things go, yeah.
Is our native planting list in the town code or is it just in the village code? You know offhand?
I don't know.
There was a question about that in the village minutes, at the last meeting, that wondering where the list was. I just happened to read it the other day.
It's in one of them, that's a hazard to the joint board. I
No.
don't remember
You can
sometimes.
always,
But I-
everybody can go to NRCS too, it doesn't, our,
But what it
Thing is
said was that nobody knew,
limited.
I mean, that was the
Yeah.
bottom line, they didn't know where the list was.
Yeah.
They knew there was one, but they didn't know where it was.
sometimes, honestly, the problem with lists like that, they're really nice and easy for people to pick from, but they can become outdated. You start getting diseases and things, and so it's almost better to say, go to NRCS website, put in our location, and it'll give you,
What is
plenty of
that?
information.
I don't see it.
Natural resources, something.
Yeah, okay.
Or even Cornell Cooperative Extension has good lists and stuff too for natives. But I think the big thing is you don't want the boxwood too close to your windows and doors.
I never knew that.
Have you ever smelled, like, if it rains and then it gets warm out?
I guess it
Only some people pick it out too, so it's probably like,
I just always thought it was cats that were getting
No.
in my boxwoods.
No, it's the boxwoods.
Good to know.
Okay. Any other comments on the landscape plan? Okay. Hard pack around the back for fire apparatus to be part of the engineer drawings, so we have that. Yep, right off the parking lot. Okay. Completed. Engineering, any other opinions? I would deem these drawings complete. We just have that as a discrete note. The last was just no work to begin planning board approval, so. You are the notes, just make sure. This is all moot because we got agreement on the buffer. So that is moot. Do you have the secret? Okay. I'm gonna shoot through secret quickly because we were changing some, we have the applicant's copy, but there were some changes made. So with the applicants present, I wanna go through the secret so that, because this is a signed copy for you, so. I wanna make sure that we're in agreement. Adoption of plans, local law, no. Does the proposed action require a permit? Yes, building permits. The land uses are commercial and agricultural. Is it permitted under zoning regs? Yes. Consistent with comp plan? Yes. Proposed action consistent with predominant character? Yes. Is the site of the proposed action located in or adjoins state-listed critical environmental area? No. This was a changed answer next. 8A. Will the proposed action result in a substantial increase in traffic above present levels? It's yes, because right now it's a farm field. So that doesn't mean it's bad, it's just yes, but significant is there'll be 20 cars a night instead of 0. Public transportation services available? No. Pedestrian accommodations? No. Proposed action meter exceeds state energy code requirements? Yes. Proposed action connect to an existing public private water supply? Yes, at the road. Proposed action connect to existing wastewater, new septic to be installed. That's a change, it looks like. It used to say yes, but it's new septic to be installed.
Yes, new septic, yes.
Does the project container substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed? National Historic Places? No. Confirmed with this report. Project site or any portion of it located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York SHPO. That should probably be a yes, but again, it's like that other, it's like it's a yes, but we've addressed it. It's a yes, we've looked at it. Yes, it is a significant area, but we've addressed it. Does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or the water bodies regulated by federal, state, or local agency? No. With the proposed, and we did that, I did say last time when I looked that up on the DEC mapper. Would the proposed action physically alter or encroach into any existing wetland or water body? No. If yes, identify, it's not a yes. Identify the typical habitat types that occur on agricultural / grassland. Does the site proposed action contain any species of animal listed by state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No. Is the project site located in the 100-year floodplain? No. Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? These were all blank. So will stormwater so that would be a yes to that, correct, Andy? Is that what you're saying? Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources?
Yes.
Yes. If yes, will stormwater discharges flow to adjacent properties?
Yes, they do right now.
Will stormwater discharges be directed to established conveyance systems, runoff, and storm drains?
I'd say some of it, but not all of it. So, no. Because there's not storm drains here.
I'm adding a note here. There's a place for if yes, notes. Stormwater plan in development and considered in the conditions for the decision on the site plan. We want to make sure I use the right word, should I not use those words stormwater plan, because it's not a SWIP. That confirmation that we're asking for.
Yeah, you could call it drainage plan if you want to, yeah. Because that's what this, you wanna refer back to the actual drawing.
Right, I just don't wanna put anything in here that is like,
Trigger
why
something
wasn't there a
dead.
sweat?
Right. Yep.
Drainage,
Drainage.
drainage plan in development. Does the proposed action include construction or other activities that would result in the impoundment of water or other liquids? So it's no, because the pond was eliminated, right? Has the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management? No. Proposed action adjoining property been subject to remediation? No. Okay.
So now that this has been reviewed again, are you willing to sign it again?
They show the sign up if we have it. I'm just curious.
I haven't seen anything. You don't have anything further on the sign yet, do you?
Yes, I did submit an application for
Okay.
it. Yes, was hoping it'd be reviewed. I
Is
thought
it, is,
it's completely, yeah, I submitted a couple weeks ago to sign.
should we do this part of the site plan?
I guess it doesn't definitely technically, doesn't have to. It's just, it showed up on here now, so I was like,
Well, here's the thing.
Get it all wrapped up. we gotta
Do
do
you
it
wanna
separate.
get started on that before next month? Like, if I went through it and approved it now, are you gonna be able to work on it, or?
Yeah, we actually already have a grant approved for it, and
Let's,
I've worked,
let's,
yeah.
let's get this in right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yep. Okay, sign language, lighted. It's a freestanding sign, lighted. Have you reviewed this, Charlie?
Yes,
Meets all code requirements?
yes.
Okay.
I didn't want to give him a sign permit until we got the building approved. I'm not gonna give him a- okay. We're staying out.
As there.
Do you want to make copies for the other people there, or?
I'll pass it around in a
I
second.
didn't know we're gonna discuss it.
85 by, what is the regulation? Where's that going to?
It goes to the sky.
120 inches.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're doing the light figure.
You said we could check it. Lighting's down there.
I didn't know if there was some, because you can't really see it over.
Is that lime green or yellow on the sign?
It's gonna be more yellow, it's just the
Okay.
color wasn't that great.
It's custom green.
Instead of making ponds, instead of making ponds.
Can you come explain this to us for a second?
Yeah.
making sure that it matches this, but this is
Okay.
old, this is old.
What is it?
The sizing, right?
Yes, it is, because I was working with, this was done, and then I was working with sign language, so they have it adjusted. So this should be accurate, and then he's gonna come do a site visit once the sign application is approved, so, I'm kind of, he's like, it's progress, when he comes out, and does a site visit, to kind of figure out the specifications.
No, this is,
What's that?
See the dimension shoots way
Oh,
up here
yeah.
instead of the top of
No,
the sign.
it should be here, yeah,
Okay.
it should be,
Wanna go there?
it should
What is
be,
it?
I know it's under 10 feet, so yeah, I went through the application and everything else.
Okay.
So this is what it has to be, so him and I have been going back and
Okay.
forth a lot, he's done a lot of signs around here as well.
Okay,
So,
that
yeah,
sign,
they-
that sign guy has the code.
Yes,
Okay.
yep, I copied everything, sent it to him,
Okay.
and he actually just did work, so, yeah, he's aware.
yeah, I know. I'll
Yeah,
pass
so
it
I
around.
did go through and take a look at it to make sure.
Village,
Okay.
not so much.
Just wanna make sure it wasn't saying 120
No,
inches to nothing.
yes, it's under the 10 feet mark.
Yes.
Yeah. The area was in the wrong spot.
We used to look at them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to make them, mostly just to see how it fits with everything else.
You know what, no, now I'm thinking about the village again. That was the village and the local sign code procedure and everything.
Village and Oberg code format.
Wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't it be nice?
Easier. I wouldn't have to look in two different
It
books.
probably could be done if someone suggested it.
And then did it.
And then did it. I mean, that's.
But then, the 2.5 acres that they require a house to be on in the town would have a real shoehorn of a problem get doing that in
In the village.
And then everybody in the town would be like, well, I want 100-foot wide lot or 120-foot
I
wide lot.
bet you could figure a way to get around that. By just spelling it out, you know, just if you're within the village limits, it's this, if you're outside.
And therefore, there's 2 different code books. They did that. There's different code books. Or make one code book with just lots different.
Yeah, I mean, just a chapter for the village and a chapter for the town and everything else is the same.
Well, she's reviewed the code.
I'm sorry?
Do you know in the town's code if the application for a sign permit needs to be approved by the board? By this board?
I was told it had to go through the town, I don't know if it actually has to be approved or not, I'm not sure, I didn't look into, I was more
I
looking
think
at
it
the
only has
specs.
to go
for-
technically.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
why-
It's the village that has to come in front of us.
Right,
Yeah, because in the code, what,
and this is over the line. No,
No, it
It
is.
is, right?
I-
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's what I'm.
I was like, oh, did I
I
misunderstand?
just so we get it right, that's
Yep.
what I just wanna verify.
Absolutely. It's been a while since we've had this situation.
Town, right? We've done a lot.
A lot of
village.
village,
We
yeah.
rewrote the sign code and added board approval of signs, but that was for the village, not for the town.
Well, we have town representatives here too, so. Fucking okay.
I don't think we've ever approved one for the town.
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know how it's all like that, but yeah, it's just not there, but it's under. Cause I, so it's, it has to be one.
No, I see nothing in here about board approval for that, so.
So just Charlie, thank you for showing us though.
Thank you. Well, if it were submitted as part of the site plan review, we'd give a,
We'd still look at it, yeah.
anyway, so. Is that green color, is that like an official pickleball color or
It's,
something?
It's
it's
kind of the color of a lot of
yeah,
balls.
it's
Is
more
it?
like a
Yeah.
yellowish color, it's,
Yeah.
they
Kind of
couldn't,
cross.
yeah, they couldn't get the color right on the computer, so we gotta go pick it out, but yeah, it's like a yellow green, more yellow.
That's the color of pickles.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It is right now, right?
Okay. Uh, Unless there are any other comments, applicants included, I'm gonna look to take a motion to close the hearing portion of the site plan review. Can I get a motion?
Motion to close the hearing.
Okay,
Second.
seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then the public hearing has been closed on the site plan review. So now the board, we discuss, what we wanna do with this. I would propose that we approve with conditions, and I would be happy to go through some of these conditions so we can consider those before our vote, or if anybody had any other thoughts. Conditions I have listed so far, imposing a 150-foot buffer for any development, parallel to the western boundary of the parcel. And if the applicants in the future, I don't mean for you to write all this, but if you ever needed or wanted to do anything, that's not a forever forbidden. That's as of right now, you would have to come back if you wanted to enter that buffer.
Should we stipulate that, just in case in 20 years from now, when the sport's completely different, they're looking back at, well, why did they say?
Yes, yes, we should. I just didn't want her to keep, because I knew I was gonna talk, so. Impose a 150-foot buffer. Like I said, did you get that part of it?
On the western property line.
150, yes. 150 feet from the western boundary of the parcel.
Barring further site plan review.
Yes. I like how concise that is. And then I think we should put something in for future reference to say, in consideration of
Historic artifacts.
historic artifacts that may not have been covered by previous survey. Got it? Okay. That's one. Two would be documentation and curation of any recovered artifacts or cultural materials.
Say that one more time.
Documentation and curation of any recovered artifacts and cultural materials discovered during the development, the project development.
Does it have to be like a formal sentence?
Well, I was gonna say, in accordance with,
And we can just say document and curate.
yeah, document and curate. This is to be done in accordance with NYS RHP guidelines. OPRHP guidelines. Okay, number 2. Number 3, confirmation from design engineer that stormwater discharge to neighbor won't increase, that's what I had, but is that worded correctly?
Yeah, that's fine. Going to the, yeah. That would be,
One more time.
Confirmation from design engineer
Mhm.
that stormwater discharge to neighbor will not increase.
say neighboring properties.
Neighboring properties will not increase. Don't type this yet, because I want you to help wordsmith this. Add native trees from NRCS website once the building is in place.
Yeah, I wouldn't put the NRCS part, but I would just
Okay.
say, because there's so many different documents you can go look
Okay.
at, just say, additional native. So here's my question, we can request it, but we can't quantify it. So we just can say additional trees are required, native trees are required on the the northern portion of the building. How do we do that?
Put the word consider in front of it.
Consider?
Yes.
We do it.
I was gonna say, because there's no enforcement. for
Right,
that.
exactly.
There's no trigger for enforcement.
So consider increasing the quantity of native trees. And I would put shade after that, because the surface is native. So maybe we give a size, so medium and large native trees. Say it that way.
We should say an inch caliper inch on it.
Well, really what we're
Medium
thinking
large.
about is, we're thinking about the later date though, so. We wouldn't say like a 36-inch, we wanna say, they usually categorize as small, medium, large. So if we say medium and large,
They don't say what inch they have to have.
and that's only installed, so that doesn't matter. We wanna know, we want this to be filled out over time, so it's really about the,
So you're not saying what size
Mature
they gotta
size.
install, you're saying.
no, the size already is a requirement in the code. They have that already. What we're saying is, we want them to put in medium and large native trees
Okay.
on the north and I would say east faces. Consider it.
Any other thoughts on conditions from the board? Any more discussion? Applicants, any comments, discussion? No?
When you talk about the trees, you're talking about a species that's gonna grow large.
Yeah, again, maples are considered medium to large.
Yeah, I like it, yeah.
And maple's good, and, you know, this is more for you than us.
Oh, yeah.
right? Pick a tree that's
It's
gonna
a
be
long
hardy,
business, so
you
it's
know,
not like
maples
that.
check all the boxes. They're hardy, they're native, they're, you know, don't put something that grows fast that's gonna fall apart, because then now you're gonna spend money picking up dead limbs and broken trees, so. Okay,
I wanna reread them.
Go ahead.
Request a 50-foot buffer on the western,
150.
150-foot buffer on the western property line boundary, barring any site plan review, in consideration of historic artifacts that they may not have been covered by previous survey dated November 1989.
Or in further site plan review.
Document and curate any recovered artifacts and cultural materials during product development, or during development. In accordance with NYS OPRPH guidelines. Confirmed from design engineer that stormwater discharge to neighboring properties will not increase. And last, consider increasing the quantity of medium and large native trees shade on the north and east faces. Okay.
Looking at the third one?
Confirmation from design engineer that stormwater discharge.
Yeah, provide, we wanna tell them, provide
Provide confirmation.
proof of confirmation to code enforcement. Basically, we just want somebody to see it.
To code enforcement officer. Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the site plan with the conditions that were just read to us.
Moved.
Seconded? Seconded?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Show that the site plan has been approved with conditions as listed. Congratulations, HFL Pickleball.
Thank you.
Thank you for investing in the community. I think it's gonna be a great project.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We're excited.
Wait till the news spreads. Unless it already has, I don't know.
I've been hearing some.
Some
buzz
people have
about
already
it,
been
but
talking?
Not too much, we're kind of waiting for this before
Yeah.
hearing too much.
That's good, that's good. Once it gets out there, though, I bet there's gonna be a lot of excited people.
Yeah.
A few of us that are already excited.
Are you,
Thank you.
good, good.
Glad to hear.
That's enough.
So you're all set, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Yeah, we have a couple things we don't wanna hang around.
Thank you.
Oh, right here. There it is, right here. Okay, in addition to that, conditions, got it, okay. Electronic versus.
We've talked about revamping the site plan application. And in several different places, the amount of paper copies an applicant needs to provide is different. And technology has changed. Do we want paper copies for each individual person to be provided by the developer? Or are you good with the electronic copies that we are getting, that I get and send you? I guess I'm just trying to do a little survey as to what each of you would like and consider what future boards might like.
I'm old school. I prefer the paper so I can mark on it and look at it. Because if it comes electronically, I can't do all that on my computer because then I'm using things I'm not supposed to be doing. So when I have it here, I can just mark it. So I like it.
Few people can share it.
I was gonna say, we don't need to print all the paper.
Right, it's too much paper.
We would request that the developer, the applicant, provide the copy.
Okay.
Not us.
Yeah.
Well, there's so too much people in the world.
So I've got one person that wants paper.
I've got, what about, you mean get your paper once you're here?
Yeah, that's fine. I would
What
love to
about
get it
one
early. If I got it early, that'd be really good. but-
Right, when,
When's that? Well, if you get your electronic early.
Yes, I do.
I would,
look at it on my phone, honestly.
I would think it would be okay if you could come and pick it up. We're not gonna mail them out.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect you to mail it out.
So,
No, if we have it
Paper
printed
copy.
early, that'd be great.
I'm okay with electronic, with the exception of, when you get into these actual architecture drawings and so forth. But if we just had even one on each side we could look at,
That's
you know, but the rest of the application, I mean, I'm good with.
Oh, the rest of it, yeah, the other
Yeah,
paperwork, it's the
all the
drawings I really
checklists
like,
and stuff.
honestly.
So
So
Yeah.
just the drawings.
Yeah, I don't need the checklist, it's the drawings I'd like to see.
Yeah.
up close.
We don't need one each.
Yeah. Well, if we had a nice drawing on each side,
Right. So we'll say 4, 6 large.
I'd say
4 is probably good.
oh, yeah.
four is probably
Because
more
we'll
than
need,
enough.
make 4 for the board, because then we'll need one for the file and one.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go to 6. The rest of it, you don't want any papers, or you don't need it.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
This
think so.
paperwork here.
Yeah, I mean, I could bring my laptop and look at,
Yeah.
but Wayne usually has a paper copy and he reads through it.
I just need the,
Right.
I need
You
the
would need
paperwork so I can
Right.
facilitate.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'd just bring my computer with all this, all these
Yeah.
things, because though I can read, but I can't read even on my computer, I can't read these.
Right.
It's too small.
Right.
The other part of this, so maybe we'll just keep one of them here, or a few of them here, so that if you wanted to stop and get it, you
Mhm.
could, but please bring it back or return it prior to the meeting. Is everybody good with that?
Well, I thought the question was how many copies of the person needed to make. Like, you said 6 large copies.
Yeah.
From these, like what? And then if he gets one, he gets, bring it to me. I mean,
Right.
if he gets one and you're
Well,
ready to
I-
share it, then they can.
Right,
bring it
if we
to
just
me.
have, like, if we just have one on this table, we can look at it,
Right.
and we'll bring a piece of paper that we can write notes on. Okay, so,
We usually have no more than this as far as board, so we have one there, one here,
Mhm.
Well, you
Great.
just need your own.
4, so 4, not 6.
And
Yeah,
I
I
want,
think
and I
4
want
would
one
be-
for
Well,
the
that's-
file.
Oh,
Yeah, then she said for the file.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one.
the fourth one for the file.
And then not make the little
Okay.
ones, which are,
Right.
right?
6,
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
because you can't see anything on them anyway.
Yeah.
About
But
magnifying
not the
glass.
packets, we don't need all the paper.
Right.
No, I don't
packets,
think we
the
need all
application
these.
packets.
Yeah, as long as that's electronically emailed 2 weeks beforehand.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Thank you. The other thing is, you had a request to put the comp plan on our agenda. And, I did talk with the supervisor about the intentions of the board, the town board, doing the
Right.
comp plan. And he has added it to a joint town-village agenda that is gonna be held on July 7th. So my recommendation is to either attend that meeting or provide them with your comments about comp
I
plan.
did that this morning,
Oh,
I
you did?
emailed to both
Okay.
Johns.
Because this board can talk about it, but unless,
And they're actually meeting with the
county.
Beaver Lakes, whatever,
yeah,
about doing a grant.
so
Huh?
does that satisfy?
Yeah, cause I think
Okay.
maybe I'd like, I think Christine and I might have to sit down with them. We can just go through what our ideas are about it. I mean, it's like, there's a number of things that I think you could take care of before, I mean, it may take, I mean, if they write a grant, I don't know how long it's gonna take. And in the meantime, you know, these issues come up that are not dealt with because they haven't been dealt with.
And if anybody else wanted to attend that meeting,
Yeah,
or have
fine, that's true.
recommendations.
I can send it to you and you can put it out. I can arrange a meeting with the two of them.
What type of issues, give me some examples of some issues that aren't being dealt with legislatively.
Well, for instance, there's a model historic preservation ordinance that if we had that in our code, it would make us eligible for a whole bunch of grants. I would really like to check with other towns about their enforcement, what they have for enforcement code, whether there is any, maybe there isn't, but I just for my own self, I guess that really is disturbing to me that, you know, when there's nothing that you can do other than take it to court. I mean, I don't know what else you would do, but I don't know, I'd just like to see what other municipalities do.
And I'm just asking, because I don't necessarily see these as comp plan related or dependent. I don't
Well, I
think
mean,
you have to put
they're
that-
all things that were in the comprehensive plan, that some of them haven't ever been done. That was my thought, was that if there was an implementation plan in the comprehensive plan, and some of those things were never done. And so wouldn't it make sense to evaluate those things now and determine if they're still relevant and then act on it rather than, spend all the money, I mean, it costs thousands of dollars to do a comprehensive plan. And if we could kind of accomplish some of the things ahead of time, it would maybe make that process
Right.
less.
I'm just I'm kind of glomming on to your first point about the historic preservation. Historic preservation is already supported in the comp plan.
It is.
Basically, but, so you're really just talking about legislation.
Right.
You're just amending the code. That you don't have to go down the comp.
No, I know, but I guess what I'm saying is that that's something that's addressed in the code, but it hadn't been done. And maybe that part of it wasn't specifically addressed. But meanwhile, we've got historic properties in the town, one right across the road from me, or the street from me, that has been destroyed. I love the Schwings as a neighbor, I love them dearly, but every time they have done something like tear off the back end of their barn, I ask the question, isn't that part of it being a historic property? And nobody ever said they had to get permission, you know what I'm saying? It was, I don't want it to sound like I think we ought to nitpick everybody, because I don't think I'm not necessarily in favor of that. But I just think that there's certain things where people, if they can get away with it, then it's just promoting the idea of why have.
They're not getting away with it. The sad thing is that the HPC hasn't been given any teeth to make people
Right,
do
and
it.
that's what's in the code, it's the model code of the state that Frank Gotcha was supposed to email to me tonight, but I haven't got it.
But they need, in order for historic homes not to be destroyed, they have to put it in code that they can't put vinyl siding on a historic house.
Right. And that's what's in the state has a model code
Right,
that does have that enforcement. And
but we need to apply that here.
well, we need to pass the code.
Correct, you're right, that's what I
Right.
got.
And I'm trying to help you streamline, don't associate that with the comp plan.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because if you associate changing the code,
Right.
which is a very short, simple process.
Right.
No, I won't say that, it's not simple. Short compared to the development of a comp plan. Comp plan is a multi-year endeavor.
Right.
Don't tie something that can be done legislatively with a vote
Right.
back to a
Okay.
multi-year.
Okay, then if I could change that, what I'm saying a little bit, I think one of the things that, I see here, and I know I've had that conversation with others, one of the biggest problems we have in Lima is we have not really any way to increase the tax base. And the budgets of both the village and the town are facing struggles because of money issues and raising I don't know, is that true, Chris, that the village taxes went up 12%?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge amount of money. I mean, not a huge amount of money, but, that's a
Well-
big jump. And one of the ways to change that is to, do some creative things with zoning to, be able to increase the number of houses that could be built and, ways to maybe encourage business, which this is wonderful. So that's all I'm thinking. And I'm trying to, I know there are some ways to do it creatively that you don't need a 2.5 acre lot. If you take what land is available, which isn't very much, and for my own sake, I'm trying to figure out what's the deal with the farm trusts and how much land is in are in trusts that's totally unavailable. You know what I mean? Because there's ways to develop farmland that's not gonna impact the farmer. If you, I don't want to go into it, but there's ways to do it, that would allow more houses to be built, but still preserving the farmland. But right now, if you have to have 2.5 acres to do it, you know, you can't do it that way. So, I don't know if I'm explaining this well.
So to change the town code, it has to be written, it has to be provided to the board 10 days prior to them taking action. They have to set a public hearing, and then they can adopt it, and it becomes effective once it's filed with the state. So if there's specific things in our code that you want changed, that's.
Well, I guess what I was looking for was more of like input from the group. Like if there were things that, you know, that we kind of thought about that we thought maybe could be made into code, it would be nice if the planning board was in favor of it, rather than trying to change things and having you all say you're not in favor of it. That's all I was, I guess that's what I was. Does that make sense for you?
Sure.
You're just all looking.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Just
take it in.
for my 2 cents, I'll throw one out there that I've talked about for a long time.
Okay.
I've talked to the supervisor, I've talked to the mayor. I would support mixed-use corridor overlays
Right.
to try to balance the best of both worlds. They took my map out of here, I hate that.
Oh, what happened?
They took it out of
I
here.
think it's in,
Where you have.
somebody put it behind there.
I don't need it, Charlie, it's not. You do not, you do not have to go through the whole exercise of rezoning everything and trying to explicitly point out parcels. You can choose corridor areas. Avon has done this. Now look at Avon's zoning code. Corridors that say if you're on 15A, you're on 5 and 20, we're going to issue special use permits. If you have a creative business use and you'd like to do something, come in front of the board, we'll decide. To give the board the ability to have flexibility in a creative economic environment, instead of having a list in the code that says, yes, no, no, because it's mostly no's.
Right.
You can only do the things here unless, you know, we say you can, and
I
if
will.
it's not listed here, then you can't.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, I don't know, should I bring up?
Why not?
Sure, the best thing? The-
Not wooden right now.
No, okay. Okay. Next time, we'll bring that up. But, yeah, no, I think that it's it, and I think there's probably a lot of things, because if I've gone through the implementation part of it, there's things I'm not sure about, you know, but I think the Gotchicks are great people to help with this, because he was on, you know, he was on the planning board during the last comprehensive plan, so he would understand the implementation of it, what got done and what didn't.
Yeah, and I think like we talked before, a year or two ago, it's important for the community, there'd have to be a survey as to what they would like to see. It's not just us in the room.
No.
We shouldn't decide everything, there's a big community here, and their input is important. Things you care about, you know, somebody else may not care so much about, it has to be a consensus. Some people may not want more housing in Lima. That may not be a priority for some, so, you know, whether you agree with it or not, some people might think, I like my open fields. I don't, you know, I don't mind paying a little bit more
That
taxes.
was one of the recommendations in the last comprehensive plan,
Yeah.
was to have an open space committee that identified in the town what open space was most valuable and should be
Yeah.
maintained, and I'm not sure that was ever done,
Yeah, maybe not.
and, you know.
Yeah, you know, like you said, the first plan, you know, you get it accomplished, you put it on the shelf, and then,
Right, and
You
if there's
probably don't,
things,
you know.
if there's things that could be, you know, done
Yeah.
that were already agreed to, it makes sense to do it, I guess, that's all I'm saying.
I guess as far as the zoning, like Wayne said, if there's things that you can do without doing the comprehensive plan,
Right.
that's worth bringing up
But
and.
it has to
you know.
come from somebody, you know, and somebody has to bring it up, but it would be good coming from this group, so.
I mean, the zoning board must have input too, maybe there's
Right.
times they see things like, we wish it wasn't this way.
Well, maybe,
You know, what
we should
common
have a
issues
joint
that-
meeting with the zoning board.
I think they need to maybe write the suggestions that you have, and then share them. Because just talking about it doesn't,
Yeah, get a copy.
so get some,
For everybody to have next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
you could
email
email them.
them and email everybody, whatever. However you want it. Email be quicker than waiting for a meeting.
I'm thinking also Lee and I can get together, just so we can compare notes, what she's done, what I've done, and we can put them together and then email it to you.
Yeah,
Yes, that'd be good,
that'd be good, yeah.
a lot quicker.
how old is our code book? What's the
The
date?
comp plan or
The code book, because that's what we're talking about, changing this code,
it changes
The
all the
zoning
time.
code?
There's,
town code.
There's
I
old
have the
pages
app,
in it,
but I
there's
can't
newer-
find it.
remember the week of the copy, there's old pages to do things
Yeah,
that
that's
have
like
around
a
here
recording
forever.
document.
Old as land.
Well, I asked because the town of Avon has codified their code, so they've gone through the whole thing.
Right.
Again, that costs money to do, but
Well, we have too, but,
you have,
yeah.
okay, I didn't know that.
But the zoning is all we are dealing with.
Right. We meaning this board or we the town?
Everything we're talking about is zoning related. As far as the code goes.
I still think the whole
I
thing.
mean, you're talking about details like animal codes of
The
animals.
whole thing, you go through the
Well,
whole
that-
thing,
I
The
think,
whole
I think
code
it,
but you're just
I think
looking
it
at.
should happen based on either a problem in the code book that comes up, or interest that people have in changing the code. Don't waste your time and money going through the whole code book, because you go, oh yeah, these 14 chapters, we didn't see any problems with. And
Well-
then you spent all the time, you know, because there was nothing wrong, whereas,
Let's just for
like, this is a good idea to discuss.
so let's say there's 400 laws in the code book,
Yeah,
and you wanna change 5, 8, and 2.
yeah.
How does that affect the rest of the code?
Okay, you
Codification
would
would
de-
do
you
that
would-
for you.
You would discuss that based on changing the other one, but it's not gonna change everyone to have to go through the whole code.
Yeah, it does.
And what that,
This is.
how's it gonna change, how's it gonna change having your
My
dog
company's been
tied
doing
up
this since
or your dog
1962.
fenced in reference to having lots that are smaller? You, okay, you still have to have the dogs, if you're gonna have half-acre lots for houses to be on, like at the village, you still have to have your dog tied up. For example, I'm sure you can come up with other examples, how it will change other
I'm
things,
not going
and
down
yes, it
that
will
hole
change
right
other
now.
things.
Okay.
As you say, is this?
I'm not going down this
Yeah.
rabbit hole. It absolutely does. When you, over time, the codes that conflict each other, it happens all the time. You read one section, and you go, wait a minute, that was 1968, but over here, you talk.
Well, yes, if things do conflict with each other, yes, if they do,
Yeah, but the only
Well,
way
you
to
don't
do
have
that
to-
is to do a review, is to look at the whole thing.
okay?
That's the reason why I'm saying, like, we're talking about three different things. We're talking about,
Yep.
we started with
Comp.
comp plans, then we were talking about making zoning code amendments, now we're talking about
I'm saying no thing.
basically recodifying, which is looking at the entire code. Those are three completely different and necessary at some point in time for every municipality. But the decision, you have to make your decisions on which one is the first one.
Right,
You can't do
right.
everything at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
And so there's a fine line, like, that's, back to the beginning, when I said, can you give me an example? The reason why, what I was trying to do was to see like how many individual changes you would want to make to a zoning code. Because if you just wanna make 2, then you amend your zoning code. But if you get in a room and all of a sudden you're making 30, that's where you call the timeout and say, wait a minute, we need a new zoning code. Like, you don't make 20 amendments at one time. Then you have to look at your comp plan and say, how old's the comp plan? Wait a minute, comp plan's 20 years old. Comp plan has to be done first, and our comp plan is dated. So if we got to a point where you were suggesting 20 both of the things have to be addressed. but the comp plan has to lead the way. The comp plan is the guiding document for the zoning code. And that's where things like what Chris was saying, when Chris said, hey, things you care about,
Well,
other
no,
people
I
might.
understand that.
And because over 20 years, your demographics change, right? Your citizenry changes. Things change about preferences and generational changes, and so the comp plan does need to be looked at, no doubt. But I think there's the possibility that there could be incremental zoning changes. And first and foremost on my mind is flexibility. Our zoning code is highly inflexible, and it's very rigid, and it's, here are the approved uses. And if it's not here, too bad, it's out. And the trend that I've seen in my professional experience is zoning code is becoming much more flexible. To let boards like this exercise some judgment and issue conditional use permits, special use permits, allow people to come in with good ideas and to be able to have some flexibility. There's many times that site plans don't even get in front of this board because Charlie or some combination of several of us look at it and say, sorry, you can't do that. It's not allowed where you are. That happens a lot.
That's too bad, that really is too bad. I mean,
I think
Don't
it
have
should
to
be
be
changed to be
creative.
more flexible.
Yeah, I'm not saying make it permissive right out of the gate.
No,
Put a
right,
review
right.
process in. Come in front of the board, convince us, and have a vote.
We're gonna
And,
be more flexible. We can't just say, okay, it says you can't do that.
right, but we default to no most of the time, in what we do in the zoning code.
well, and that's the way, you know, I think a lot of communities have been for a very long time to make, and it's a very unfriendly environment for people who are creative and trying to do things, so it's, I think it's important to have options.
Well, we had, somebody that came in, was it the Chosen Pot? I always forget the name.
Yeah.
They came in and they wanted to do stuff, and we said, well, you've gotta do 5 steps. Well, they looked at the code and found a different thing and met with the supervisor and the attorney, and they're going ahead, they're going forward now.
Right. But that, I mean, I guess I don't have a problem with that, except it was just a matter that they came here to begin with.
Well, the problem is, why do we exist to give them
Right.
feedback then? No, if
And
we're,
if-
it doesn't
and
really
if-
matter.
Right, and if people
Yeah.
wanna do what they wanna do, then what's the point?
And when they came, there was a lot of different things they were looking at, and we were offering advice, and then it was going to, even to that adjacent property that's, you know, a
Right.
stop filled with, they're like, well, we'll develop that. I mean, I drove by and it's a little stage on wheels, they didn't expand the parking lot any, I'm like, you know,
So what are they, what is their parking plan?
well, it's an existing plan, they didn't add to it, it comes with the current business.
Right.
If you have a wagon on wheels and somebody with acoustic guitar plays for 6 people,
Well,
is that,
except
you know,
they
you don't want
have
huge
this
concerts.
event
and-
planned for sometime coming up soon, they've got big posters
Yeah,
posted,
20.
what's their parking plan for that?
We don't have one.
Oh,
What was?
Well, do they need one?
I would think that would be a good idea.
well, that,
I mean, that was brought up at
It's
the
a
meeting
retail
about the
business.
parking.
It's a retail business
Yeah,
with accessory activities to a retail business.
right.
Are they gonna have 2,000 people, or are they gonna have 40 people?
I don't know.
well, it could very well be a lot of people, cause they, I mean, they've got a really nice poster and they're having all kinds of music and stuff. And the whole point that we made to them was that they had to have parking.
Right.
They already
But
had one.
And so
So-
they're not parking on
Right.
5 and
They had
20.
one one event already, and it was, there
Right,
were
but-
several people who complained about the dangers of trying to drive through there, because there was cars everywhere.
Yeah, if they park both sides of the road, it makes it dangerous.
There's a difference
And what-
between.
Did they have him park on both sides of the road? That's what I heard, yeah.
If,
And that's what we told them.
Wayne, did you say, is it a good idea? Is that the statement that was made? Is it a good idea? Cause
Oh, to have.
it might
park-
not be, but it's not our
Well, that's the-
ability to do anything.
Right, that's what I'm getting back to the point of,
Is it a good idea?
They-
No, but
they
what are we doing?
didn't have to even come to this board.
Yep.
Well,
They
so
didn't have to
here's
come
an
here.
example of something that
So-
should be changed, because if somebody's doing something that's presenting a danger to the community, then shouldn't that have some kind of oversight?
Some guy rails?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why they're supposed to come to the planning board.
But they just blew it
I
off.
don't think events are planning board material.
No.
You might be able to get the fire marshal or the sheriff to look into whether it's serving or.
It's not that's what the point I'm trying to make
You're
was
impeding traffic.
they did a
From the sheriff.
courtesy as a new, as a new business in our community of coming here. There's no legal trigger, they had to come in front of us for anything.
All right, that's
Well,
what I was.
I would say though that was not clear to me. That they were here on their own volition just to say, hey, here we are. It felt like they were coming for feedback on purpose.
Oh, sure, I'm saying there's no legal bar they had to,
Right.
they didn't have to, they didn't leave
But
here
nobody
with
can
any
do that.
mandates from this board.
But asking
We gave
for-
them
Asking
feedback.
for feedback isn't getting requirements.
Oh, no, I understand, but no one made that clear that they were just coming here for
Well, see,
feedback.
I thought that
I thought they
did.
were here for a regular
Site
site
plan
plan.
review.
Right,
That's where we were headed down the road. Cause they were gonna make improvements in the place, so this was preliminary.
The swamp, that they have to do that, and that's what they took from the meeting.
But to get, if we were going toward a site plan, it all depends on the scale. That's why I was being a wise guy saying, how many cars? Is it 20 or is it 2,000?
Right.
If they have 2,000 people show up and there's a public safety
Yeah,
or
I would
health
talk
concern,
fire
that's
occupancy.
that's hopefully when the code enforcement officer says, wait a second, and Livingston
That's what
County
I
Sheriff
said.
says,
I said,
wait a
"You have
minute,
parking issue. You've got to-"
we got a problem here. We have a dangerous situation, then you have a conversation and say, you have exceeded what would be considered a reasonable accessory use for a retail
Right,
business.
okay, I see what you're saying.
You've turned this into this is a festival ground or a carnival now. It's not a retail business that's, if you had a lawnmower shop that wanted to have an open house with barbecues and music and that's an accessory use of a retail business. It's scale. And they didn't have a scale, so.
So when I talked to the person that came in, I referred him back to the minutes, because it was very clearly what this board had said.
There's nothing we can do at this point.
What would you suggest?
Well,
we
I don't
do?
know, Charlie said something, I wasn't sure what he was, did you say something about parking?
Yeah.
We're not an enforcement board.
Okay.
We're
Charlie can do that.
we're quasi judicial. Judges don't sit on a bench and say, what are we gonna do about that crime? We deal with what's put in front of
I
us.
see what you're saying. Totally agree.
I told him that I was told that there was parking up and down both sides of the road, and it was very dangerous for people to go across the road, and we discussed this at the planning board, saying that these are situations that need to be brought up, safety of people, because as soon as somebody gets hit, then their lawyer gets called, then the town lawyer gets called, and this is what I told them when I was there with, John Cates, and we're gonna go down and say they can have an accessory use to the property to do this. I said, how about, he says, well, we can use the glass company's parking lot. I said, but how many people did you have? Because, how many did you have? Well, he did not. Well, saying both sides of 5 and 20 are lined with cars, and people are gonna hit. If anybody brings little kids, they're gonna get hit, because they're gonna run out, just like.
To play devil's advocate, I've driven through there on a Friday night and,
At
there's there's cars on both
At
sides of the
Easton's, they
street.
park on both
So-
sides, yeah.
let's be careful with
But are
double
they,
standards.
are they
on
not
that.
lining the street?
20 or 40 or 1,000.
I mean, there's a little.
I mean,
parking lot on
there's
the other side.
a lot of.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it's
slightly
not
dangerous.
safe.
I
It's
think.
not safe.
Heavy cars, which.
No, I agree.
But I see
It's
every.
not
happens
safe
for
crossing
these
the
things.
street in front of my house.
And
Oh,
Oh, I already have.
Yeah, the big thing is that Easton's didn't come to us and ask for, or,
Well, the other part of it that we had talked about was frequency, how often are they gonna?
right,
And that's where they
yeah,
found that
that
they
makes sense
couldn't
too.
do it. Now, if they're more frequent, then that's a different story. In Avon, they have the ceramic festival that's
Right.
coming up, and where they have. And they really reached out to the sheriff's department and lots of people prior to having the event, and as it grew and grew, they had, the sheriff's department there. And
Right.
so maybe that suggestion should be made to them. Because when you have cones out, we have police there, people slow down.
Yeah, you can hire a sheriff. Have a deputy on each side, temporarily slow down traffic through the area, but that's about all you can do.
Mhm. Well, it works now, one for sure. You're standing in the middle of the road. Okay, I'll still come.
Alright, so we good?
Who's making the motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Is there a motion adjourned? Seconded? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
8:36.
Thank you.